Hello friends, today we are going to see one of the most important topic in Java, that is polymorphism. So these are the concepts of object-oriented programming and how we are going to implement and learn polymorphism in Java, that we are going to see today in this tutorial, in this video. Now first let us understand what is polymorphism actually means in English. So polymorphism is actually derived from two Greek words, poly and morphs. The word poly means obviously many and the morphs means forms. So polymorphism means many forms. So generally polymorphism we can explain in simple words that which exhibits many behaviors, or you can say which is going to behave differently, and there are a lot of terminologies you can use to define polymorphism, but the short and sweet one would be existing in many forms. And now we will see what is polymorphism in Java means. So polymorphism is the ability of an object to take many forms. So here we are discussing in Java that an object is going to take many forms. So an object is going to behave differently in different situations. Like you can't predict the behavior of the object, because at one point of time it is going to behave differently, or that means it is going to give different output, and in other situations or in other conditions you can say it is going to give you different output. So the most common use of polymorphism in object-oriented programming, you can see when a parent class reference is used to refer to a child class object. So we know already inheritance, where one class is going to inherit the properties and methods of another class. So the class which is going to inherit the properties and methods is called as a child class, and the class which is allowing the other class to use its properties and methods is called as parent class. So here the parent class reference is used to refer to its child class object. We are going to see this example later in this video. So let me give you the real world example of polymorphism. Suppose we have a pet dog. When it is going to smell its owner, it is going to wag his tail. Obviously we know that dog, they like their owners. So when it is going to smell its owner, it is going to only wag his tail, it is not going to do anything else. When the same dog, it is going to smell a stranger, it is going to bark. Obviously when the dogs are going to see the strangers, or when they are going to smell the stranger, they are going to definitely bark. So here the dog is the same dog which is going to do the same thing or the same work, this work of smelling, but it is going to behave differently. See, one time the dog is wagging its tail, and the second time, or in the other situation, the dog is barking. So if I take the real world example into the Java world, I can say you that I can consider dog as an object, right? The particular dog which I am taking in this example, I can just compare it to an object, and let us say the smell, the work which is done by the dog, and here the work done by the object will be definitely a method, because objects are going to use the methods to make the work done. So here the method is going to take some optional data. Whether or not it is going to take out the data or not, that depends on the method and the object. So here the object, by using some method, is going to give you different outputs. Here you can see the dog is smelling, depends on what data it is, the owner or the stranger, it is going to behave differently, wagging his tail or it is barking. Similarly, the object is going to use a method, and some optional data is provided to the method, and now the object is going to give you different outputs. So the real world example we are going to take into the Java, and I have written a simple example here. I have used two classes here, class A and class B. Here class A will act like a superclass because we are allowing the methods and properties of class A to be used by B. So here I am using a simple inheritance relationship between B and A. Here the class B is extending to class A. That means now class B has all the rights to use the properties and methods of class A. Here in class A I have used one method M1, which is going to print M1 method of class A. Similarly in class B I have used the method M1 and if you observe here, the method I used in the superclass is same name as the method I have used in the subclass. So this is the concept of method overriding, where the subclass is going to have a method with the same name and signature as the method in the superclass. So here the second method, that is the subclass method m1, is going to print m1 method of class B, and the superclass method m1 is going to print m1 method of class A. Now I have taken another class, polydemo, the main class. I have written the main method. Now I have created three objects here, o1, o2 and o3. Now I am going to differentiate you. First we will let us see the o1 object. See, the o1 reference is of type A, and the object I have assigned to is also of the type A, because I am creating the object of A class and I am assigning it to the reference variable of class A. So the same type on both LHS and RHS. And when I am calling o1.m1, then when the program is compiled, now the compiler will see the m1 method in class A, because the o1 is of reference type A. Okay, now when you are going to run the program, the JVM, the Java virtual machine, is going to see the m1 method of class A, because the object of which type is assigned to o1, class A type. That is why JVM is going to see class A m1 method, because the object is also of type A. Hence, when you are going to execute this statement o1.m1, it is going to give you the output. That means it is going to print m1 of class A, because both compiler as well as the JVM are looking at the m1 method of class A, because for compiler o1 reference type is A, and for the JVM the object type is also A. Next, coming to the o2 here, the o2 is of which reference? The reference o2 is of type B. Hence, the compiler is going to see the m1 method of class B, because the reference type of o2 is class B. But when you are going to execute, the JVM is going to execute the program, and at runtime, the object of which type is assigned to o2? B type, because we are creating the object of class B. Hence, both LHS and RHS are both same, and hence this m1 method which is executed by o2 is of B class, m1. So the output you are going to get is m1 of class B, because o2 is of class B type and the object assigned to o2 is also of class B type. Next, coming to the third one and the most interesting one, we also call it as the golden rule in Java, where this class A is a superclass and the superclass reference is assigned with a subclass object. So at compile time, the o3, or you can say the m1 method which is called by using o3 reference variable, actually the m1 method the compiler is going to see is of class A, because the reference type of o3 is class A type. Hence, the compiler is going to see the m1 method which is called by o3 is actually m1 method of class A. But when you are executing the program, the JVM is going to see the m1 method of class B, because the object which is assigned to the reference is of B object. Hence, the superclass reference is assigned with a subclass object, and when JVM sees the type of the object assigned to the reference, it is only going to call the method belonging to the class of that type of object. That means you are calling the B object, obviously you are creating the object of class B, hence the JVM is going to call the m1 method of class B, not class A, because JVM doesn't bother about the reference here. Whatever the reference is, the object which is assigned to it will be the ultimate one, and the method will be called of that class only. Hence, for the third statement, the output will be m1 of class B. So this is the actual use of polymorphism which you see in Java. So here at compile time you are seeing one method. Here the compile time, the compiler is going to see the M1 method of class A, but while execution only, the JVM will come to know that the M1 method which is called by O3 is not actually from the class A but from class B. So this is also called as dynamic method dispatch in Java. I hope you understood the video and the polymorphism. This is the simplest example what I can provide you. Thank you for watching.